brushing her teeth in the middle of the fucking office. In the middle of a plastic surgery center, in one room away from where there is an open door and they're doing procedures. She's walking around brushing her fucking teeth. Hey guys, it's Naomi here, and I'm going to straight up dive right into this video. Before that, I want to obviously make a disclaimer. These are opinions from my experience of this place, and I'm still gonna debate through the video if I really actually want to say the name, but this was the worst experience at a cosmetic plastic surgery place I've ever been to. This was literally a nightmare. This was horrible. This was a waste of my time, my money, pretty much a huge waste of my money, considering I'm going to have to pay someone else to fix their work. So this is going to be like a vlog of that day, sort of, and a verbal review. So let me get started. So I have never gotten lip injections before, at all. And I've never been hesitant to. I just never really wanted to spend around $500 or $600 because I knew that to spend a lot of money to get lip injections is kind of silly, considering that you need around $2,000 worth to even make a big difference. Because like right now, if you watch my video, you probably can't even notice that I've had lip injections. So you need a lot of syringes to pile up in a short amount of time to give a real noticeable difference. And I do not do plastic surgery unless it's to get a noticeable difference. Like tiny things don't matter to me. I like big changes. So I'm going to proceed. So I go to this plastic surgery place. It's South Florida Cosmetic Center. I've been there before, and the same lady that did my Botox did this lip injection botched job. So I trusted her to do it again. She has fairly decent reviews, and she wasn't bad. Like, I live in Miami, Florida, so I live in Brickell, so downtown Miami, and they're all the way in Fort Lauderdale. So around the time I go, that's an hour-long drive. So like, I don't mind driving far for good work. I never do. I will drive across the country or fly across the country if there's a price and a plastic surgeon that is worth my time. So I have no issue with that. That's my own fault. So I go to this lady, and one of the reasons why I went to this plastic surgery place to begin with was because I was going to get my nose, boobs, and chin done there. And after I put the deposit down, I started reading the reviews, and they were really sketchy, and I just didn't want to risk it with getting that many procedures that were so intricate. So I just asked them to place my deposit into their med spa, it was only $250, to place that into my procedure to get my lips done, and I would cover the rest. So I get there, and I'm waiting for like 20 or 30 minutes. It's a huge, busy facility, like many people, probably 4 or 5 doctors working. It's like the Walmart of plastic surgery. Like, there's people going in and out, people paying, people doing everything. It's a big deal. And so I'm used to plastic surgery places that are very small and everyone's giving me one-on-one attention, but that's fine. This is Miami, a new scene, new deal, whatever. So I go, and I'm waiting, and then I get called back to the med spa. So I walk down to the med spa. Immediately, this lady puts lidocaine on my lips. She did not even ask if I had an allergy until she was halfway done putting it on my lips, which was fine, whatever. Like, I don't have an allergy, and I'm not gonna lie about it, so that's fine. So she never asked, but she put it on anyways, and then asked midway through, which is illegal. You always need to ask someone if they have allergies before you give them any type of medication, whether it's over the counter or whether it's fucking penicillin. Like, you always have to. So that being said, I didn't care. we were waiting in the doctor's office, or the like waiting room, while the lidocaine sat, and my lips were pretty numb. The waiting room was nice, nonetheless, pretty fair, and it was more like an office where they probably do procedures too, but they ended up walking me to a different office with the same lady that did my Botox. So I was like, okay, cool, like this is awesome. So what she said, when she first saw me, she acted like she's never seen me before, which is fine because I'm not a very memorable face and I only have came to her one time. So whatever. The last time she told my friend that he needed Botox, and he wasn't even there for a procedure. So like she was just being rude. Like that's just rude. Like why would you say that to a guy that's driving me there? Like rude as fuck. So anyways, proceeding. So I get there and I tell her, do you know what? Like I don't ask for prices yet, but I tell her, do you know what? Like I just want one syringe. And she ends up giving me Juvederm Extra Plus or Ultra Plus, and which is like a fairly good brand. That's a very good brand, and it also has lidocaine inside it, so which is fine. So she tells me at that point we only are doing one syringe, and I'm like, cool, let's do the damn thing. So I'm laying back in the chair. I'm really, really nervous, and there's two girls and Mason, and so I'm standing there. She tells Mason that pretty much he could faint, and I was like, I don't think he's gonna faint. He's seen a lot worse than this. So like the entire time I think she was just being like totally rude to me. So then halfway through the procedure, her and her coworker try to upsell me into getting another syringe. This is when it gets insane. So while she has an entire needle that's probably a good 3 inches inside of my lip, I'm sitting here like laid back like this, and she's selling me to get another syringe. And I'm like, okay, well, we agreed on one. And once you actually do a procedure, you cannot upsell during the procedure when we already agreed on something before that. Hands down, plain and simple. So she's continuing to try to sell me on it, and she's getting her friend or coworker to sell me on another procedure. And I'm like, no. And so I ask her how much it is, and she's like, oh, it's only another $650. And I'm like, okay, no. Like, no, that's not what we agreed on. Like, I never even wanted to come here in the first place. I just came here accidentally so I could use this deposit and never come back here. So she gives me the fucking most attitude. And as she gives me more attitude, she starts injecting me harder. She starts pushing the needle in harder and like making fun of me that I am in pain. And I'm like blown the fuck away that she is doing this. And the girl is like being rude to me. Like all of the women in the room are being so rude to me. And so I'm just like taking it because I'm halfway done with the procedure. So if I stop now, I'm going to have to go to someone else, pay all that money, and do redo the thing over. And so I'm sitting there in literal fear of my life. I almost thought I was going to faint. It was a nightmare. So I continue to power through it, and she, point blank period, tries to sell me on it for a 4th or 5th time. And at that point, Mason steps in and he's like, hey, like you can see she's uncomfortable. Can you please finish the procedure? And the doctor lady, whatever the hell she is, she ends up saying, oh, well, half of it's already gone, so she's not going to get anything for her top lip, to be honest. So you guys should just buy it now. I can lower the price to $550. And I'm like, no, get me the fuck out of here. This is a goddamn nightmare. This is horrendous. And so after that, we get into this huge tussle about why I'm not doing it. And I'm just like, I can't afford it. I don't want to do it here. Let's finish up the thing. Mason's like, this is insane. Like he's worked at a lot of surgery centers and performed a lot of surgeries, and he was even like, this is one of the worst I have ever seen in my life. And I was just like in shock still, because she still had a needle in me. And so the surgery's over. She's like shit talking me, like behind her back. She's asking Mason why he couldn't do the procedure himself. And he's like, I'm not giving my fucking girlfriend lip injections. Like, that's not what I'm about to do here. Like, we came to you, do a good job, and we're gonna get the fuck out. He didn't say that, but I'm summarizing what was practically said, not verbatim. So I end up walking out, and she calls me back into the room to take pictures. I'm like about to pass out, and so she's like pointing at me like 45-degree angle. And I'm like, bitch, I have no idea what the fuck a 45-degree angle is. I'm about to faint. Like, I don't want to take your pictures. I hope you don't use these for your portfolio because they look like shit and whatever. So then I proceed to try to go pay. Mason's like, girl, I cannot believe you're about to pay for this. And I was like, dude, me neither. And so he ends up being like, dude, you should not fucking pay for this. And I was like, do you know what? Like, what am I gonna do, run? And so I end up paying for the procedure, and it was $400 after the injections and my deposit. So $250 minus whatever, or $650 minus whatever I already paid, pretty much ended up to be $400. So I was fine with that. That's the normal run-of-the-mill fucking price for lip injections, so I don't get too upset. So while I'm looking, I couldn't find anyone to pay either, which was the weird part. Like, they all disappeared. The lady disappeared, the fucking sales associates disappeared. And so while I'm looking for someone, I see this fucking lady. She has like brown fucking hair, like huge hair, and she's brushing her teeth in the middle of the fucking office. In the middle of a plastic surgery center, in one room away from where there is an open door and they're doing procedures. She's walking around brushing her fucking teeth. And I'm like, you did not even bother to close the fucking door. I'm gonna give her a pass because that was the most innocent thing I saw go down there. So like, I'm not judging them because of that, but like, if a health inspector walked in and saw that, that would have been a fucking, they would have got a demerit for that, because that was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. But like, I'm not judging this girl for brushing her teeth. It was around after lunchtime, and she might have had coffee, and she probably talks to people a lot, so I'm gonna give her a pass because nobody likes stinky breath. But it's like, be respectful and close the fucking goddamn door. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so I pay, and it was just a fucking mess. She like couldn't figure out how to run my card, and then once she did, we ended up figuring it out. Once she did, I walked away, and I never will go back to South Florida Cosmetic Center again. And the last time I went, I had to wait for the lady who did my lip injections to order her Panera lunch, like, for the office. So I was waiting in the chair while she was on her computer and phone fucking ordering Panera. And I like am really laid back. I'm a Libra. I am so laid back. I can put up with a lot because I understand people are human and people would just want to do what's best for themselves. So like, I get that. If you see me at work, I'm probably on my phone texting or drinking. Like, that's just the way it is. But like, if I'm paying you a lot of money and you're a medical professional, you need to be on your stuff. Like, you need to be on it, and this facility was just not. And I think I'm gonna end it here, but there's fucking more. Like, I really wish I wanted to end it there, but I just remembered the whole conclusion circle effect to this. So when she was going so fucking hard on my lips, she ended up almost puncturing the back of my lip. So now I have pretty much dime-sized injection sites, and my lips are all chapped. Sorry, you have to look at that. Like, I had a weird reaction to the Juvederm. Like, that makes my skin dry. While it mostly plumps people's, it dries mine. But that's whatever. So I have these fucking huge bubbles inside of my lips. And I'm like, wow. So now I have to pay in total the $250 that I originally spent there, the $400 I paid when I went, again, to get this lip injection, botched fucking stupid job. And then, now I have to go pay for a real professional that knows what they're doing to dissolve it, and then give me more because my lip is stretched out. How does this make any fucking sense? Like, any. And not once have they called me or reached out to me to see if I was okay, like they have in the past when I got my Botox, because they know I'm going to not be okay. Like, anyways, so that is it for my vlog. I hope you did not enjoy this, and I would not recommend going to South Florida Cosmetic Center. If you look up that place, they have amazing doctors, but the staff is horrible. So, and I don't think this lady was a doctor. She was a PA or a nurse practitioner, something like that. And I don't really care if someone's not a doctor and they give me lip injections, because you can be an RN, a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, and you still have the same qualifications to give injections. So like, that's not even a big deal to me, but the big deal was the botched job. So, and the disrespect and the upselling, and then the brushing the teeth. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Love you. Bye! To vanity shit, so I don't know, but I know it's gonna hurt really bad because I was watching YouTube videos about how bad it hurt. And yeah, I've never gotten my lips done before. I've gotten Botox before, obviously. If you are a follower of mine, if you're not, welcome. You better subscribe. Hi. And I hope that this is not that painful. I don't really have a direct opinion of what I think of this facility yet, so this will probably be everything that pulls it in on if I actually like this or not. I want to do 2 syringes, but I think I might just do 1 for now. So we will see, and we're gonna pull up soon. You can't be giving the lady these cheap-ass carnival prices. So I'm here. I'm ready to get this done. I've waited 3 years to finally do this, so I hope 1 syringe is enough. I don't know if I'm gonna do 2. I hope 1 is enough. I look like I just got nutted on. I'm numb now.